When Hilda Charlton was 4 years old, she moved to the United States from London, England, with her parents. At the age of 18, Hilda began performing as a modern dancer, a career that lasted for 20 years. After that, she spent 15 years in India, studying Eastern mysticism and meditation. Hilda Charlton was an extraordinary being. She taught classes for more than 23 years in New York City, giving practical lessons to thousands of seekers about living a life of truth, courage, and love. Hilda's teachings stressed the importance of self-mastery, giving and forgiving, unconditional love, and remembrance of God. Hilda Charlton's book, Saints Alive, is a collection of extraordinary classes she gave at the Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine in New York City. She spoke with love, wisdom, and humour of the saints and holy people who were a living part of her life. The book also includes practical lessons on how to live a life of truth, courage, and love. We now share with you an excerpt from Chapter 1, The Garden of Master Jesus, from Saints Alive. With the coming of Jesus to me came his saints also, Saint Teresa, Saint Martin de Porres, Saint Anne. One day I was feeling ill, and in my sleep I saw Mary. And then I saw her point to this lady with a cow, an older lady with a piece of cloth under her chin. Remember, I was new in this. I had been in this only about a month. I couldn't wait to get up and see who that one was. I ran down to the nearest church, and there she was, Saint Anne, Mother of Mary. I just looked at her, and I was healed. It was so much fun to meet my friends of past lives and remember them again. Are you understanding? We don't meet them for the first time in this life, for goodness sake. This is just remembering and a new hello to them. And I worry sometimes that when I'm incarnated next time, will I get to know these people again? If not, I would really miss them. Will I find Sai Baba? Will I find Jesus? Will I find Mary? Will Saint Teresa come to me as she did in this life? I want to make sure before I leave that they sign a paper which states that if I come down, they're going to come down too. I wonder if Joan of Arc will ever come again. Oh, she'll say to me, "Now, you're so strong, you don't need me." I hope not. I want the whole gang again. St. Francis, St. Joseph, St. Joan, St. Bernadette, they all came and left their calling cards with me and signed them love, faith, and courage. With the saints come all the little miracles that encourage us and lead us on. Oh, those little miracles. That's what keeps us going, isn't it? If we didn't have those, how could we go through all this gloom and darkness? Just when we think everything in life is a big mess, they go and do something nice for us. They're awfully smart up there. Jesus appeared outside a bus one day when I was grumbling about the heat of the Orient and the dirt and the dust on the bus. I was grumbling, sitting there looking out the window, and I said, "Oh my gosh, it's Easter again, more crucifixion. I've had it." And then there he was, outside the window, flying along outside the window was my Jesus. And what he said is for all of us. He said, "No, no, not crucifixion for you. A life more abundant I come to bring." A life more abundant. A life more abundant. He spoke of many things that were abundant. He means everything. Your physical world abundant. Your emotional world cleaned up. Your mental world clear. Everything abundant. Not crucifixion for us. He did that job and left. He said it very clearly that day. He said, "When I say abundant, I mean all planes. And so he does, if you know how to believe and call and trust. A Hindu girl says that no matter what a person does to her, or who judges her, or says mean things to her, or how many mistakes she makes, there is one ever near forgiving. Forgiving, loving, compassionate, she says. Jesus is always near. She said to me last night, about 3 a.m, "You say it, Shanti, in your words. It was more beautiful than I can say it." Shanti, when Hilda told me she was going to speak about Jesus tonight, I got so excited and so happy because Easter is my favourite time of year, and to hear Hilda speak about Jesus. I came to know Jesus a couple of years ago, and ever since I've met him, he's been a brother, father, friend. I can't even describe all that he's been to me. I know that no matter how life goes, how many mistakes I make, how often I fall, how often I feel like I could kick myself because I'm so stupid, I know that he's there. I just know that he forgives, and he's there to help, putting out his hand. He's just so compassionate. I feel like he's always watching over all of us, to guide us and to help us, and that with Jesus you can never go wrong, because he'll never forsake you. What an all-encompassing man is my Jesus. He never asks, "Have you been baptized? What religion are you?" He just stands at the edge of the world, waiting to come. Vision after vision people are having now of his return soon. I do not know about big things like that. I only know I love him. Moses and Jesus were both let down by their close ones, the ones for whom they sacrificed. Moses went to the mountaintop and came back and found that those who were left to wait and to pray were just fooling around. Jesus went to the mountain to pray, came back and found that those who were left to watch him pray were asleep. And he said, "Cannot you watch 1 hour with me?" In 6,000 years, we have changed very little. So the heavens keep sending down someone to remind us. Jesus came 2,000 years ago and left a message so clear. And have we lived it? Or even tried to? Or did those nails pierce that sacred flesh to no avail? I say we can start right now, this night. I woke up in pain this morning. Then suddenly my body turned into silk. I knew my Jesus was on the job and wanted me to speak simply from my heart about how I feel and have always felt about my beloved, who left his divine domain and walked with us. For himself? No, for us. Through him, my hand becomes a healing hand, otherwise it is but flesh. Because of his great love, the angels gather and their feathers fall upon our heads in blessing. What more can I say? My friends that are me, all that I am, is entwined in him. He is my breath, my life, my love. If I for a moment fall, he reminds me that he too fell and rose to stand tall again. I close my eyes, and there are his clear blue eyes ever looking at me. And I know he is nearer than breathing, closer than hands and feet. He came not to glorify himself, but to teach us of the Father. I would like to tell of some of the little miracles that started to happen to me when Jesus came into my life. I had an old junky car that I had paid $85 for, and it ran for 5 years. I never put oil in it because I didn't know I had to, but it ran anyway. Because I had just come into this thing, I wanted to use the power. You know that one, kids. So I said, The gasoline tank is full. The gasoline tank is full. The gasoline tank is full. The gasoline tank, in the name of Jesus, that gasoline tank is full. Well, it was full, all right. It went on full for months. It was just fine. It didn't cost me anything to run that car. It really manifested. But finally the big man wanted to show me a lesson. Do not use God. Do not use the Father. Let the Father use you. Got that one? It's cheap to use the Father. Let the Father give to you. For more information on Hilda Charlton and her teachings, please visit hildacharlton.com. Graceful viewers, thank you for your company for today's selections from Saints Alive by Hilda Charlton, Vegetarian, Chapter 1, The Garden of Master Jesus, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom.